my name is Jobby, and we're looking at the Deformation Space DS-01 Crimson Wings, a third-party version of the Transformers G1 Starscream, and the latest addition to my line of Starscream reviews. This one's the best one. Not without its faults, we'll get into that. But before you get into an internet connection, I recommend Surfshark VPN, the sponsor of this video. Browsing the web without a virtual private network is like flying a jet without the jet. Just doesn't make any sense. Surfshark keeps all your important stuff private, secure, and protected. Like your emails, your passwords, your AnthroJet art. Surfshark VPN is also a sort of virtual jet, letting you virtually travel the world by changing your IP address. You have a choice of over 3,200 servers in 65 countries. Use that to get better deals online. Some stores change their prices depending on where you're shopping from. There's an article in the description about price discrimination that you gotta read. Or you can use Surfshark to watch region-locked content on Netflix. For some bizarre reason, American Netflix only has Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. But switch your location to France, Belgium, or the Netherlands, and now you could watch the only good Michael Bay movie ever. Point is, you won't have to pay for a whole nother streaming service. Surfshark VPN also includes Surfshark Alert, letting you know when your sensitive information's been compromised in any way. It's available to download on iOS, Android, Mac, Windows, Linux, pretty much everything. So check the link in the description and use my promo code JOBBY to get 83% off and 3 extra months free. But if you like the idea of flying in the sky completely unprotected, you psycho, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Out of the classy and strangely modeled kit-like box, the figure does not have Decepticon logos on the wings, being a third-party figure and all. Easily solved with a pair of stickers not included. Focus for me, motherfucker. And the null rays are unattached and untransformed. No part swapping necessary. Unless you want blisters on your fingers, get yourself a part separator, not included. It'll spare your sanity later, but not by much. After getting these things attached, the painting and the sculpting on this figure is amazing. This is exactly what a masterpiece-style G1 Starscream should look like. Blocky, colorful, looks good from all angles, and I did like the recent masterpiece Starscream. Check out that review if you haven't. But you can't deny that the back on this figure is superior. Naysayers will say it's too flat. So is your mom, but that didn't stop me. Not too big on these random gaps. Maybe they'll come out with some wing fillers. And I'm honing in on the back right away because the rest of the figure is pretty much what I've talked about 1,000 times at this point. The majority of the figure is covered in this matte coating, which I fear could scratch easily. But from my many months of handling this figure, sorry about the delay, been so long since I opened them that you could see my background slowly getting the China virus. Not the last time you'll see that, believe me. I still haven't run into any significant bouts of paint chipping, except for the back that I sucked off so much. This ugly shit was a result of the... Oh, we'll get to it. The look of this figure is borderline perfect. I can't really complain about the look. I can see some people thinking that this one looks too slender. I've seen that criticism of this guy before in comparison to MP52, which is a lot of people's favorite. But let me just tell you, you're wrong. I just happen to prefer the look of this guy over the MP52. They've even got a similar head sculpt. I think this is actually an identical copy. While it's questionably legal, it was a good idea. That was one of my favorite aspects of MP52. You can just hear the voice. Just kidding, he doesn't come with an O face. 0 out of 10. But you could switch out his face for either a general smiling face or... That's not good. You want the eyes to come off with the face. Come on. Oh, shit. Part separated time. Can't have shit in this house. The classic shit-eating grin. I love it. Perfectly encapsulate everything Starscream's about. Exactly what you want from G1 Starscream. I had really high expectations for this figure after seeing those excellent promotional pictures, and so far, so damn good. This thing is solid as a mother effer. Everything tabs in as it should, and there's a healthy mix of tight friction joints along with some beautiful clicky ratchets, which of course makes this figure a lot of fun to pose. Ball joint at the head and a hinge joint at the back of the head can look up really far and look down really far. Every ball joint can be a swivel. The shoulder intakes have a hinge joint, but that's more for the transformation. You get a butterfly joint, which was actually kind of loose out of the box. I tightened that up with just a dab of super glue. Wiggled it before it solidified. Rotation at the arm. The shoulder's a soft ratchet. Gets stuck on the wings, but the wings are on a hinge joint, and that allows for a full shoulder rotation. And the wings can move out, although I don't know when you would do something like this. Besides the transformation, of course. R moves out. Bicep swivel, which was actually too tight out of the box. Had to disassemble the shoulder and lube it up with some silicone grease. Just a little bit. Swivel at the null ray and a hinge joint. Double bend at the elbow, which was too tight out of the box. Disassembled, lubed it up. Realizing this guy isn't as perfect as I made him out to be. Swivel at the wrist. Can move up and down somewhat. A ball joint at the thumb. And a hinge joint at each of his fingers. Rock on, dude. And something that only few Starscreams can claim to have. Waist swivel! Significantly cheaper than the official masterpiece, no excuses. Links in the description, by the way. And you even get an ab crunch. Front skirts move up, too tight, lubed it up. Side skirts move up, that allows for a nice kick. Can move back that far. A beautiful spread. And a mid-thigh hinge joint allows him to cross his legs. Sassy. Double bend at the knee. No sort of up and down at the ankle, which is kind of a shame. However, the thruster heel can move a little bit. But you do get a beautiful ankle pivot. The feet feel somewhat colder than everything else, maybe, with a toe swivel for good measure. Which was too loose out of the box, tightened it up. While the figure has an excellent range of articulation, super fun to pose, it wasn't quite optimal out of the box. I had to do a lot of work to get it to where I needed it to be. Hopefully that's just on my copy, but I can guarantee that every copy is the same size. It's been almost 8 years, give me a break. Here's Figma Madoc Economy, SH Monster Arch Godzilla, Transform Element OP Leader, my previous review, the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Joker and Harley Quinn, and of course his screaming brethren. There's no question about it, Crimson Wings is my favorite robot mode out of the bunch. But what about their vehicle modes? Well, there's really not much variation as you can see, but the difference is within the transformation process. As adorable as this little instruction booklet is, the process is far from adorable. It's actually kind of shit, and I would not be able to go through this shit without my patrons. Thank you so much for your continued patronage. Seeing as this is the last review of the month, your names will be scrolling down on top of what is a stain on an otherwise fantastic figure. God help me. Make sure you fold out this thing, because that's not even in the instructions. A lot of things are not in the instructions. Not even the right jet mode. All of that was just build up for the fun part. So there's a swivel here, and you actually have to swivel it all the way around. Clearance be damned. And that ain't the worst of it. The sides of the head are spring-loaded, so you gotta push on them while shoving it into the thingy. And here's how it looks from the bottom. Where did it all go wrong? It gets worse. And now you just gotta bring the cockpit. Bring the... Okay, maybe connecting this front part and... Maybe if I open the cockpit and then do... Unfortunately, the solution is much more brutal than that. And then you gotta force this part into position. Fun! Now imagine disconnecting it. Oh, this part's loose. Lovely. Now you want to turn these wing arm jet all the way around? Easier said than done. First of all, please, for the love of all that is holy, fold in these chest parts. You're gonna need all the clearance you can get. And now we can continue bending this all the... God. As much clearance as necessary. Get it all the way around. Shit. The fuck. Once again, the solution I find is a lot more brutal than that. Fuck you. Can you see how scratches form here? And for the other side, simply turn this part around and... very easy. God, fuck! Fucking damn. Oh, great. Fuck. Bitch. Fuck. Fuck the fucking thrusters up and the fucking danglers. Get in the fucking danglers. There you go. Come on, you son of a bitch. Jesus. Jesus Christ. Come on. Can't even roll that good. A fun, smooth, intuitive transformation? This is bad And here we have the jet mode, also known as an F-15 Eagle for you fucking nerds. This is a pretty damn good mode, but the process to get here, it really isn't the amount of steps. I've transformed things that are way more complex than this. It is completely a clearance issue. Even got a new scratch from the shit. So no, I can't really say that the transformation process was fun, but I hope you had fun. Please don't tell me you skipped. At least everything fits together really well. Nice and even after all this time of having it, it still has not become funner. It's gotten a little easier though. Kind of worth it. It's the typical Starscream jet, but even after all the bull poop. The bottom of the jet don't look the best, which really isn't an issue. You're never gonna be looking at the jet from the bottom unless you put them on a stand, which I do suggest, by the way, not included. It's a bit annoying seeing as the official version has a better underside, and it goes against what I'm saying that this figure is superior, which makes me feel wrong and small, which the jet mode is not. Size comparison time once again. Here's Monica, Godzilla Prime, and all the Screaming Brothers. Although I do have my issues with this mode, it's a great looking jet regardless, and the robot mode is worth the price of admission itself. Makes sense that the robot mode that goes the hardest has the hardest transformation. I love it, I hate it. You could say that I'm feeling a bit
split.
Before we get into an actually fun transformation, use hashtag JobbyTheHong on Twitter and Instagram for a chance to be featured on next week's Failbox stream.